And
we are back with another episode of the Sand and Boot First podcast. We are on our way to Arizona for the Super Bowl. Let's get fired up. We got a special guest coming on with us tonight, Colleen, Wolfe from NFL Network. We're going to talk the San Fran game. We'll talk a little bit of Chiefs. We're just going to talk football, Super Bowl. Birds are there. We called it. Let's go. You're listening to Sand and Boot First podcast. Go Birds.
Let's fucking go! Let's go!
The mission continues. The mission is strong. The force is strong. We're here, boys. We made it. 5 years ago, we started this podcast. Super Bowl season. Here we are. Another Super Bowl season. Welcome to another episode of the Sand and Boot First podcast. Coming to you live from beautiful downtown Willow Grove, the lovely Crack Bell Production Studios. I am your jester for the evening, Jim Marcus. To my left, the elder statesman, Donald Kennedy Deke Martin.
Did you just call yourself a jester?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I'm staying with the Top
right.
Gun theme. The pilot, I'm jester. Last week I was Iceman or whatever it was.
I'm just making sure you got yourself right.
I always got myself right. To his left, the infamous Ryan Smitty. What up?
What's up,
AP
buddy?
of AP of
AP of Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
yes,
going,
the president
That's right.
of the number
That's
one
right.
fan
That's
club.
right. The only one other than Brody that believed in him from the jump.
To his left, we got Bob Hartnett in here. What's going on, Bobby?
Not much. I can't wait to give you my professional opinion.
And talk
We're looking forward
Flyers.
to it. We are looking forward to it.
Lindros, baby. Oh, wait. We're out of the...
Hey, you're on the wrong show.
Yeah.
That show's next door.
That Morgan Frost
That
had.
show's with that dude Frank.
Down the
That'll
hall
never
to
be
the
back.
left for that
That'll
show.
never be back on our show.
To his left, we got the man with the nicest hair in the room, the guy with the most hair in the room, probably, too. Really looking around here.
No, I don't know about that.
Just got a freshy.
I don't know about that on each point.
All right. Anyhow,
It's easily the best hair.
that's the voice of Donald, DJ, the Don Martin. What's going on, DJ?
What up? What
What
up?
up? What
I
up?
got
What
a
up?
piece of chicken wing stuck in my tooth, so I'm
All right,
fighting
work
through
through
it
it.
tonight.
Work
Yeah.
through it. Come on.
Yeah.
We're all here. Sometimes you're not 100%, but you got to give 100%.
I'm trying.
All
I'm
right.
just saying, like, that's how professional I am. I
All
fight
right.
through those
Don't get
things.
distracted.
Let us know if you need to tap out. All right. And to his left, as we continue around the table, we got the young
The
Bulls.
VP.
The young Bulls. Brody Marcus.
The
What's going on,
VP,
Brody?
The VP.
You're gonna have to
Player
slide
of the
in to get your
year.
face into the video, but he's all decked out in his It's a Philly thing hat from the game. And to his left,
The person that
the
never
man of many, many
that
words,
didn't believe in our quarterback. Introduce him.
Andrew, the youngest Martin. What's going on, Andrew?
So
What's up? Behind the glass, keeping us live and on the air is our guy, Nate Money Pop Moss. What's going on, Nate?
what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get that video you did yesterday. I'm gonna crop it, right, and I'm gonna just pull. You know how like NBA Jam used to come like toasties on fire. It's gonna be Jim coming out like Smitty. Come on, can I talk?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it happen. Watch.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
Yes, sir.
We're making things happen. These birds are making things happen. We got our special guest will be coming on with us in a few minutes, but we can chop it up before she comes on. So I said it. There were some tight hiney holes in this room for the games. I wasn't scared of either of these teams. And here we are. We gave San Fran a smackdown. Smackdown they deserved. Fraud, defense, paper champions. We knocked their quarterback out. Two of them. That's right.
They were down to their fifth string quarterback.
Poor Christian McCaffrey didn't know how to throw the ball. But we exposed them.
Well, they said that if they had a rule change, they'd a third quarterback. That was their
Yeah.
but do you really prepare for that anyway?
No,
though?
I
Like,
thought
that's-
that was embarrassing of Shanahan and Lynch to come out and say, "Oh, that's why we need to bring the rule back to have three quarterbacks."
Yeah.
Wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered if Purdy
wouldn't.
won.
Maybe
Now-
if you protected your
Yeah,
quarterback with
exactly.
something
That's what I
other than
didn't
a backup
understand.
tight end.
Maybe Shanahan should look in the mirror, think of his game plan. I don't think it worked out too well.
Yeah,
Coming out throwing the ball.
I agree.
You got the best running back probably in the NFC right now. Give the ball to him.
Well,
let him
they
run.
did. He did.
McCaffrey?
Yeah, he got the touchdown.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all
That's
he did.
it.
all he
Well,
did.
that-
Oh, it's
they
because he
should've-
wasn't
on.
tackled 5 times.
They
And
should
that-
have did it earlier
that was-
on.
yeah.
Maybe it's a completely different game. I'd still
No, it's
No,
not.
like,
no.
Come on.
They were
the
winning no
Eagles still
matter
win,
what.
But I'm saying,
one
like,
thing-
if they ran the ball a little earlier, it might be different.
The one thing I loved about it was George Kittle just pissed off in his post-game press conference.
Well, yeah.
He was in there all over talking a lot of trash about how they weren't ready for the physicality. Who wasn't ready for the physicality? Their 3 quarterbacks?
Their whole
Like, come on.
offensive line and
Yeah, their whole
defensive
offensive line got bull rushed.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even. Did Bosa do anything?
He had
No.
we had one
No.
play, right?
Right.
Where
Yeah.
they stopped Hurts
Right.
right in the end zone
That was it.
on the goal line.
Right.
Bosa was hurt too. So we're talking physicality. I loved it. I think they created that hostile environment and weren't even prepared to what
They
they were
had
walking into.
no idea.
None.
Zero.
In the
Zero
world,
clue.
Dude, Purdy
Well,
looked like a scared
Debo
puppy
said no.
walking in.
Debo said, "Oh, it's not going to be as loud as our stadium."
Yeah, okay.
No.
Did San Francisco get loud?
No,
Like,
it's the world of
They're just-
spritzers and electric
they're just
cars, right? Like
relaxing.
they're
Yeah,
not.
There's so many haters out there. Do you hear what the Giants safety said today?
Jordan Love?
Yeah,
He's a clown.
Yeah. It's not. It's a players' league.
Well, think
Sirianni
it- no,
didn't do
Smitty,
anything.
imagine saying that about a coach that beat you not once, not twice,
But three
but 3
times.
times
And
in one
and
season.
you know what the other part is? Like
Come on,
he's
dude.
so stupid that he's a free agent, and like
Yeah.
you don't think teams are looking at that, being like, "Who's this jerk off?"
Yeah.
Saying that.
And he
Saying
had-
that
he had-
coaches don't matter.
He had that play. He was the guy that missed that play on that 4th
Right.
and 7, whatever,
Yeah.
to the Smith touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. Clown.
I don't listen to
Clown.
losers.
And then
I don't even know what he said.
And then the other guy from Fox today, I'm not even going to name him because he's such a jerk off, is talking about the fact that Hurts isn't. What did he say? He would put Burrow, Allen, and a bunch of other people ahead of him for the MVP.
Just the oh no, that was
And
DJ
then
that put
he-
2
yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
I was just
and then
trolling.
I know,
He's
I
a
know.
good quarterback, but he's not fully whatever he said.
Well, let me ask you fellas. You were down there.
Yes.
Was it just from the videos I'm seeing? Was it more hostile at that game than it was the Giants game?
I don't think so. Honestly, I felt
The
like
parking
the,
lots
I don't-
were.
the
I don't
San
think it was.
was it? I don't
Did
know.
you see the videos of the parking lots and the tailgates? They were pretty rough.
There
we were
weren't as
there.
many.
It was,
I know, yeah.
There
you
weren't
were
as
there.
many Frisco fans as there were Giants fans the week before.
Really?
Yeah,
there was less of a.
Social media would tell you otherwise.
I didn't see as much red as I did blue the week before.
I don't know if it's the algorithms catching me, but I've been seeing all these videos on social media
Yes.
of Niners fans walking through the parking lots just getting killed.
The
Well,
But
they
that
had
ain't
the
nothing
ones
new.
that I did see walked through fairly peacefully. There
And then-
wasn't
well,
any trouble.
I gotta
not
give,
according to Fred Warner's wife.
yeah, but I
She
gotta
said-
give that one Niners fan a shout out. He defended Philly, and I don't know if you
Oh,
saw
yeah, I
the
saw.
TikToks.
Yeah, I did.
That guy summed it up
Oh,
perfectly.
that's your. Yeah,
What did he say?
Your buddy posted that. E-Rock.
I don't know. Yeah,
what
maybe.
did that guy say?
He just said, don't go to Philly if you're expecting
Yeah.
to have a good, like,
Exactly.
not get like
Exactly.
heckled.
yeah,
He
That's
said,
the thing.
He
Yeah.
said you got to have thick skin, and as much as they give it to you, you got to be able to give it back because they like that interaction.
you know the reputation going in ahead of time.
Yeah,
You know what you're walking into,
right.
and then you go in colors, and if you right.
Not by you, because you're softer and softer than ice cream.
I mean, we've all been to our fair share of Eagles games. Like, we've seen it all, I think. I mean, I've seen fights. I've seen fans having fun with each other back and forth.
Yeah.
It's
It
just,
is what it is.
it's a
dude.
give and take. It is what it is.
There's
Like,
fights
back in the
everywhere.
early-
exactly.
Back in the early
there was
90s.
and you know what? Like there's first of all, there's asshole fans everywhere. You saw what the KC
Absolutely.
fans
We've made
were
that
doing
case many
to the
times. Right.
Bengals fans. I mean, come on.
It
There's
is what it is.
asshole
Like,
fans that are on, the Chiefs.
back in the early
Mahomes'
90s,
wife.
here
I
we
went
go.
to a
Number one.
Giants
Here we go.
Eagles game up at Giants
in the
Stadium.
early 90s.
I had to wear something green,
With
but I
his
wasn't
pro line
wearing an
from-
Eagles shirt, so I wore a Notre Dame sweatshirt.
Oh, that's even better.
And
Yeah, you should have been kicked out.
I
just
was
for that.
pretty
Yeah, right.
I was pretty quiet all through the game. It was a tightly contested game. Middle of the third quarter or so, Eagles started to do a couple things good, started to pull away. And I started cheering, not loudly, not really bad, obnoxious. I was just saying, giving a little polite clap. And I was with my buddy Alfredo and one of his
Alfredo
buddies.
comes up again. We need to get Alfredo on the show.
You're right.
The guy that snuck into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes.
It never happened.
Shut up.
I
And
think when
the
you tell
guy
a
in
story,
front of
Deke, I
me,
gotta get like fade
That's his
music.
the
in the back.
guy in front of me turned around when I started cheering a little bit and
It's
said,
imaginary
"Oh,
friend.
you
Alfredo.
are an Eagles fan." I said, "Yeah, I just trying to keep it quiet through the game. I didn't want to cause any trouble." That's the attitude the mentality you have to take when you go to another team's
Well,
stadium.
I think people that do these trips, they've gone to other stadiums expecting to not like they've probably gone to stadiums where it's easy to take over, like Dallas or Jacksonville or LA.
Yeah, the
Like
LA
where it's all your fans or Tennessee. Like this is Philadelphia. You don't take over a stadium in Philadelphia. It just doesn't happen.
And you don't proclaim that you're going to do it.
Right.
That's the thing. Both
and
of
where
these,
you're going to sit.
both of these fan bases were pumping their chests the whole week
Taking
coming in
over
here.
the
We're
city.
taking over the city.
Tailgates,
They don't know.
Xfinity.
They don't know what's coming for them. Come on, we've been here. We've done that. Like you got,
Don't-
nobody's taking over
first of
our
all,
city.
no.
Nobody's taking over our
No.
stadium.
Right.
Stop with that.
What?
And there's
nonsense.
more people in the parking lot. You're certainly not taking over any parking lot close to that stadium.
Well,
So
not only that,
you're
but,
not
like,
even. You're gonna take over the Hard Rock? Go ahead. Like I don't.
didn't
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can have Xfinity lots.
Yeah, you can have
It's
Xfinity.
pretty much hated by every Philadelphia sports fan. Like none of us go there to hang out and tailgate. It's a horrible spot.
You just go there to ride the bull, right?
You're paying like $9 a beer anyway. Like you can have fun. Go ahead. Good job, Smitty. Good job.
Rookie mistake.
so these-
Every week.
I did
Is that
see.
Colleen?
Is that Colleen?
Ask him, hey, did you taste my hot sauce?
Yeah, is he asking about the cheesesteak that we didn't get to?
Oh yes, we
thank our
did.
sponsors?
Good call. Good call. Thanks to our sponsors. Right, Mama Mia's Pizza. Tonight we tried the Hurt steak. So there's a story going around today. The local spot taught Jalen how to make a cheesesteak. He wanted mozzarella, and they refused to do mozzarella. So it was a cheesesteak with Cooper Sharp, fried onions, and mayo. I've had mayo on a cheesesteak with a
This is
cheesesteak
the
hoagie
first
on
time I've
occasion.
done
It
it.
wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Oh,
Mama
you
Mia's.
guys have never had mayo on a cheesesteak before?
No, I said I've
No.
had, but I usually do it on a.
Really?
I have never had one.
oh,
Okay.
Well,
cheesesteak
let
hoagie.
me go around. How do you take your cheesesteak?
American wit usually.
American with fried onions
American
and
with
ketchup
First of all, you don't even
or hot sauce.
You're from Philly. you
Hot
say-
sauce.
You don't
Yeah.
say American with fried onion.
You
It's
put hot
American
sauce on a
with.
cheesesteak?
Well,
What
I
is
wanted to
wrong
make-
with you, dog.
Dude, shut up.
Hold on, who puts hot sauce
I
on a
was ordering
cheesesteak?
at Gino's and Pat's before you were
Yeah,
born.
and
That
you're
explains
yo,
That's
and
explaining.
I-
You
I-
don't get Pat's
wait a
Well,
minute.
no, this is
Yo,
back in the
He's
80s.
that dumbass for the
Right,
yo,
before it was a tourist
You're
trap.
that sign there that says
Who goes
this
to
is how
Pat's
you
and
order
Gino's
it
from
because
Philly?
it's
Yeah,
Dude,
right.
this is back in the 80s. This is 45 years ago.
Okay,
I'll take
you're
it.
65. You should know better.
But it was fine back then.
This is Deke. I'll take an American steak with cheese,
Stop
and
it.
onions that are
Hot
fried.
sauce?
Yes, a little
Thinly
hot sauce.
sliced
Oh, my
ribeye with.
God.
You
Yeah,
make
right.
sure
That's
that steak-
terrible.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. You're horrible, dude.
We do have a guest
I
in the
said-
background.
I said ketchup.
Right now?
Everybody stops right now.
Oh,
right now. Right now.
We
Yes.
have to be on our best behavior.
Yeah, we do. We do.
we
need
will
to
try
be
to.
good.
You would try.
I
we will
don't know.
try
I'm
to
gonna
be.
do the best I can. I'm gonna do the best I can.
All right, I won't keep the anticipation on. I'll bring her on. Give me a second. Introduce
Jim, slide over.
Colleen
Slide
Wolfe.
over.
So we can see the TV here.
Yeah, so we can.
You
There-
guys!
Hey,
Hey,
Colleen.
what's up?
Thank you. With no further ado, we have our guest on here, Colleen Wolfe from NFL Network, host extraordinaire. We know you're normally busy on Thursday nights, so it's taken us a bit to get this, but we really do appreciate you giving us some time here. We were just arguing about cheesesteaks. We started talking about the game, but we got into a cheesesteak argument.
Yeah, you made me homesick.
Well, he said
And I
hot
just
sauce.
got back yesterday.
Violation.
Yeah, Deke
Hot
said-
sauce is a violation.
It's not a
First of all,
violation.
yeah,
It's so a violation.
It's a violation when you say American
Uh,
with fried
You know what?
onions.
Colleen, cover your ears real quick.
Okay. What's happening?
So first, what we do first is we like to set the table with some lightning round questions, just
Okay.
to see which side of the table you'll fall on here. So they're rapid fire, chicken wings. Do you like the drums or the flats?
Drums.
Nice.
Yes.
There.
Yeah,
Atta
there we
girl.
go.
Hold
There
on, what
we
did
go. There we go.
what did John say? What did he say?
We'll
When-
go back to
We'll
you.
go back?
I do have
Gonzo,
have the
what did
record for
Gonzo say?
John. I don't know if we want to compare John yet. Well, let's get
Okay.
through and then we'll see if they
Ooh.
match. I do have John's responses here.
Okay.
MJ or LeBron?
MJ.
All right.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
All right.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
All right, another question for local
I'm
folks.
nervous. Okay, all right, here we go.
Scrapple, yes or no?
That's an obvious.
Oh, we lost your audio a little bit.
Is that a yes on the
Most
script?
important question. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, there we go.
All right,
Good.
3 for 3.
Good. So we had one of your colleagues, Marcus Granton, here, and we asked him the question.
Okay.
He said he hadn't had it, so we said we'll try to get something out to him at some point. But
Ah,
you're gonna have to cook it up for him because never
That's-
seeing it, he's not gonna know what to do with it.
fine. We love Scrapple. This is a Scrapple household. John calls it God's meat, and it is. I believe
is.
I
There you go.
worship at the altar of Scrapple. Yes.
All right,
God's meat.
awesome.
The king of all breakfast meats. All right, the greatest center in Eagles history, Kelce or Bednarik?
Jason Kelce.
Easy one.
That's a good one. There you go.
And then we
I'm
can't.
okay with that answer.
Jim, you're not.
I know, but like two-way player, he was really great. I feel like it's not even like it's apples and oranges almost.
He's a linebacker.
No,
Concrete
check
Charlie is not
check-
a center.
Yeah,
check
okay.
the record. He
Oh, God,
went
here
to
we go.
I know.
almost as many pro all pros as for a linebacker as center.
I've heard your case many
All right.
times, and I still disagree.
All right. Are you gonna? Is that it?
Now,
there's
and
one
then
more.
the last one is greatest Eagle of all time for you.
Ooh, I mean that's hard because I want to say all of them. I do love. My God, this is the hardest question ever. No one has ever asked me this. I feel like Randall Cunningham was like the OG for me, but I mean Brian Dawkins is like
Yeah.
really hard to top, so I'm gonna go Dawkins.
All right.
Yeah, it's been a run of what? Dawkins, Reggie.
And then
I think it's been predominantly Dawkins.
Jim,
Yeah,
it has
you
been Dawkins.
can't answer the last one.
The last, yeah, we'll wait till after the offseason. We have an Andy question. We won't ask that. We don't want to put you on the spot with an Andy question. You know,
Okay,
we won't.
all right, you sure?
I will say that
She just said you sure.
we matched up. You matched up evenly with John. Same answers.
No way.
Yeah, John was at Dawkins or Reggie. I like that you threw the Randall in there. That was good. But yep, you guys matched up exactly. I'm a little disappointed in the drums answer. I'll be honest. But
Nah, don't listen to him.
I was nervous and I just
That was
like
the
I
perfect
panicked.
answer.
But I do like both kind of equally. So
yeah, I'm not going
Nah,
to say
it's
no to a
drums all
drum.
the way.
But
Your first response was the right response.
Exactly.
Okay,
If
all
there's
right.
one leg,
Fine.
one drum left or one flat left, you're going for the drum.
Absolutely.
And that's the
That's
correct
right.
answer.
100%.
okay, so we got through that. We know where you fit on the table, kind of here. But I want to hear what was it like being back home this weekend with the tailgate. I'm sorry. So I'm Jim. I'll do real quick. I'm Jim. To my left, Geek, Ryan, Bob, Andrew, or I'm sorry, DJ, Brody, Andrew. We tried to make it over to you there on Sunday, but as you know, it was kind of a shit show down there, and a lot's getting
Oh
in
my
there
God.
on
Don't
Sunday.
even worry. We got kicked out of our location. Like security came and told us we had to leave. And I was like, wasn't this like already kind of pre-talked? Like, didn't someone pass this? Like, I don't understand. I thought we had clearance for this. So it felt like a very perfect way to start the day. It was amazing. We had the best time ever. The fans were so fun. And when I say the fans, it's like most of my friends. Like it was like my friends and my family were awesome down there. We had Philly Pretzel Factory made me multiple soft pretzel sashes that I could wear, which I did wear proudly around the parking lot. They kind of had us in a section that was not my idea of like a perfect Eagles tailgate. Like I wanted to be dropped right into Armageddon. Like I wanted things on fire. I wanted to be in like jet row. I didn't really get that where I was. It was like sort of like a high end area and people were just like very polite and nice. And so I'm like, I had to go and find my people. So I walked around for a little bit and we had the best time ever. They're obviously like the stadium itself, once we got inside, the energy was incredible. It's just like so much fun to be able to go home and I don't have to like prepare anything. I can just hang out. I just show up. I was almost late for my first hit. I mean, it was great. I was like, I felt right at home.
So let's be honest, and it's just us talking here.
Okay,
Philly's
right.
the best experience, right? Like you've been to all these other stadiums. Nothing beats Philly.
Well, of course. And
All right.
it's hard for me. I can't, even if I wasn't from Philly, I'd be like, yes, this place is amazing. Why doesn't everyone else love it? It's gorgeous. As I'm like passing the refinery. But it's like, I have such a soft spot. And every time I come home, it makes me want to move back home. I miss it so much. But there are a couple other places that remind me of Philly. It's sort of like Philly light. Nothing will ever come close to Philly, but a lot of I went to my first Bills game this year, and I actually went twice. And those tailgates are pretty fun. And I feel like if you had the Eagles fans and the Bills fans together in one tailgate where they like somehow were on the same side, if they could somehow join forces, that would just be like the ultimate tailgate ever.
It'd be a lot of tables. You know, Philly's a wrestling town.
Yeah. But it was awesome. I loved it.
Our competitor for the Super Bowl, we're also playing them next year, right? So that KC is a town I would like to get to see their tailgates, just see that stadium, see that atmosphere, because I hear that's a really good one too. I was
going to mention KC as one, but I was like, you know what? I got to know my audience right now. Maybe don't bring up Kansas City at this point in time. But Arrowhead is an incredible place to watch a game. The tailgate it has almost a college feel to it. And you can smell the barbecue from miles away, and you kind of like come up onto the stadium, and it just feels like an old school kind of feel, like just environment in general. And Lambeau's really cool too, but Arrowhead has a different type of vibe to it.
Barbecue? Now we know why Andy went there.
Oh, yeah. I think he's admitted that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So the first question I have for you, to get into the actual, not that we haven't asked questions already. How hard is it for you to be objective in your job? And I do love that you do show your true colors on occasion, but like, do you walk down the hallway and like boo Michael Irvin when you see it? I know that there's that Philly in you that you got to bottle it sometimes, but is that a challenge for you to not come out with your green?
God, this is such a good idea. I can't wait to start booing Irv when I see him in the hallway. This is fantastic. Why didn't I not think of this 8 years ago when I started the network? No, it's I've tried at first, and it was really hard I'm not a good liar, and I'm not a great, like, I feel like a fraud if I'm trying to be someone that I'm not. So I kind of just do what I do, and I let the bosses decide. So I've been called into the principal's office like a couple times about maybe just like reeling it in a little bit. But at this point, when the Eagles get this far, it's fun for everyone, I think, in my mind. Of course, like Niners fans hate me. I've lost all of those people. But it's just kind of, the first time I actually met Michael Irvin, I walked up to him and was like, I grew up hating you. I'm supposed to hate you. This feels very strange to shake your hand, but hello, Michael Irvin. Like, I don't know how to act. So it's always weird to go to Dallas games and to be nice and objective. And, I'm trying. This is a whole journey. This is a lifelong journey, guys. It doesn't happen overnight.
You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
It's a project in the works. So that level.
Mm-hmm. What else?
No.
I got one to tag off of that. So, I'm you have a lot of stars around you with your job and what you do. Is there anybody that when you first started that really was like, wow, I'm here with this guy or this girl right now, like talking football or, just hanging out? Is there anybody that like had that starstruck moment with you?
I think when I first started doing Thursday Night Football, the whole moment kind of felt that way, because I wasn't necessarily I feel like when I was in Philadelphia before I started working at NFL Network, like years and years ago, I was a booking producer. And so they would have me go in the Eagles locker room and book different guests to come on shows and go to different events and try and get whoever I could get, different legends, different, if there was a celebrity there or someone. So early on, I kind of had to have these like out of body experiences to be like, okay, Colleen, you can be a professional. Like, don't be nervous. Don't be weird. Like, figure this out. And so that was really good training to kind of fake it to the point where then it became pretty routine to work with a lot of these guys. But it is funny, especially when I first meet some of like the new analysts and along the way working with Maurice Jones-Drew, who I always watched and I loved, and he's like one of my favorites. Working with Kurt Warner, but like the TNF stage always brought in a lot of the big names, like the Michael Irvin, like the Kurt Warners, like Steve Smith Sr., and they all just so quickly became like almost big brothers to me. So it was never like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm working with this person. It was like, oh my God, I can't believe they are like cool and care and like care about the job, care about me, care about like just the show being good. And that was kind of a realization for me. And obviously like working with Steve Smith Sr. is like so much fun. He's hilarious. And I never know when something is going to like trigger him, or if like something that I think is going to trigger him, he doesn't care about. So he's just like such a wild card all the time, and he's hilarious.
I'm sure Steve won't appreciate it, but I would petition to get him to every cold weather game you can. On the stage, just shiver and try to put on more layers of clothes is entertaining. It's very.
I don't know what we did this year. I don't know who we pissed off, but they sent us to Buffalo in a snowstorm, and then the week after we were in Pittsburgh on Christmas Eve, and it was negative. Like with the wind chill, it was like -20, and we were doing full pregame shows to the point where right before we went on in Pittsburgh, they told us that the desk that we were supposed to use that had heaters and an overhead in case it did start to snow, well, the hydraulics froze, so we couldn't use it. So they had to give us this like other desk that like had no heating capacity or anything. And I don't know what I did, but I feel like I've really put in the work, and that was like a good penance for me to do. So hopefully next year we're not like stuck out in some like river with like rushing waters or something, but I don't know at this point.
Very nice.
So I got a question.
Got one, Nate?
Yeah. I got a question. It's me. I'm behind the glass. I'm the producer.
Oh.
Where are you from in Philly? Like you keep saying, people say you're from Philly, so I don't know
I
where
know.
exactly you're from.
I know. And so then like people who are actually from Philly are like, you're not like really from Philly, you're from the suburbs, but like whatever.
Yeah, I got to see your card, right? That's exactly what I'm doing. Like, is she really from Philly? Oh no.
No. Like, what am I supposed to say? I'm from the Philly suburbs? That sounds terrible. Like I went to Drexel and I lived in the city in Queen Village for like 10 years. So I feel like that gives me a little bit of credit, but I grew up in Horsham. So like Fort Washington area.
Okay.
But my parents are from the Northeast, so I got roots all over the city.
Where at?
Northeast.
We're at Northeast
Potman, or Tyson and the Boulevard. My mom was from. My mom went to Hubert's. My dad went to Judge. So yeah.
Boom.
Oh no.
I'm a North Catholic guy.
Okay. All right. Fair.
It's our rivalry. But our studio here is we're 10 minutes from your old Stomping Grounds. We're in Willow Grove,
Yeah,
right up to
Grove.
611.
I used to work at the Willow Grove Mall, guys. I know it well.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
So you're back in town. You said you saw a lot of friends. Like, where are spots that you need to hit when you're back in town? And again, it's just us, so we won't spread this out to everybody. So you'll still have your favorite spots.
Well, so when I lived in Queen Village, our local was New Wave. So New Wave Cafe, that is a must. Got to go there. But then also I tried to go to Angelo's. I really wanted some pizza. I wanted to bring some home. I had brought home a pizza and a calzone from Angelo's. I flew it from Philly to LA one year, and I'm sure everyone was thrilled in the cabin, but I had that pizza and it was delightful when I got back. So word to the wise, try and do it for anyone that's going east and coming west. But I love Angelo's. And then, I mean, anytime I can just like, obviously I love a Wawa coffee. I can't get it out here. It's just like basic. It's good. It's consistent. But the food in general, the sandwiches, the bread, the bagels, I can't get any good sandwiches out here in LA. And like, first of all, the bread is trash out here, but the bread is trash. And then also yesterday, ordering a BLT, the woman behind the counter didn't know what that was. Like, had never heard of BLT.
That's an extreme violation.
This is what I'm working with out here. So it's like, pray for me. One time I got an Italian hoagie Of course, they don't know what a hoagie is, but I
You
got
gotta
an
say a
Italian
hero?
sandwich, whatever. And they put Italian dressing on it.
Oh,
Like, what?
Oh man.
I know. So I've had some tragic events with sandwiches here. So as soon as I go home, I mean, even if it's just like at a corner bodega, whatever, it's gonna be way better than anything I can get out here. So if I can go to like a dive bar and get just a lame burger, it's gonna be the best burger I've had in months.
That's funny. We asked John that too about the food on the West Coast to the
Yeah,
East
he
Coast.
did-
He
he-
said the same
yeah,
things
trash.
pretty much.
Yeah.
East Coast food, it's just there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I didn't do John justice, right? So I produced the show, like I said, and I look for the pictures, right? So I gave John the whole COVID picture. He's all scruffed and hair all messed up. And I find this nice picture of you in this nice green, you know. So I felt bad. When I did it, I was like, damn. I was
Yeah,
like,
you apologize to John.
I know. I was like, I didn't do John because remember I called him out. I'm like, John, you don't look like this picture. Is this really you? I wasn't sure. He's like,
he
yeah.
went through like a phase. He the pandemic, you know, it's tough. It was tough on everybody. So
For sure.
that green the picture of me, that was not during pandemic times.
No. And I'm sorry. I had to like I'm not a stalker or nothing. So, but I had to find that picture. Because I had to dig. I didn't know. I was like, I don't follow Colleen Wolfe. I will now.
Well, maybe
right?
you should.
Right, exactly, right.
Come on. What the
I know. I was
hell?
like, I don't follow Colleen Wolfe, so I had to Google and look, and I'm like, oh.
He's in here producing during
What is
the
wrong
pregame
with
show, and then when he gets home, he's in bed.
Well, I felt bad. I was just like, damn, I'm really looking through this woman's stuff. I was like, my wife looking?
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Let's talk some football now. Let's actually
Yeah.
get into the
Yes.
game.
Okay.
Let's get your thoughts for the game if you got a bit more for us.
Yeah, of course.
Really getting annoyed with all the people with the schedule, the easy schedule comments. But
Yeah.
where are you feeling, Philly, with this game?
I mean, first of all, obviously, hold on. I need to turn on a light. My kitchen's really dark. All right. I obviously, you know where I'm going with the game. I think that the Eagles are going to win it, but I think that there's so many fun storylines in general with this. Obviously, like by the time we get to the game, they will be so played out that we will be nauseated by hearing about it. But the Kelce brothers, great. Reid coaching against the Eagles, great. I do love. I don't think a ton of people have started talking about it yet, although I'm starting to see some things pop up. But the fact that Andy Reid fired Nick Sirianni when he got to Kansas City on that staff. So that's like a nice little revenge game. It's a reunion and a revenge. So love that angle. And, you know, if the Eagles end up winning this game, which, you know, I think they will, they'll have more wins at State Farm Stadium than the Cardinals had all year. So that's like a big accomplishment in and of itself, guys. But weird things happen in Arizona for the Eagles. Like that's that's my only concern. Maybe I should bring some type of sage to Arizona and just walk around State Farm Stadium, like with some sage and crystals or something, wearing some type of like Philly gear. I don't know if that would help, but I love.
It's funny you say that. So we had a priest that used to be a part of our podcast that would come every once in a while. Down around the playoff times, we called him Father Carmine, and he would bless us. He happened to be out in Arizona on a golf trip this week. He sent me a video of him driving past the stadium and blessing the stadium.
Nice.
No,
So we
are
got
you
some
serious?
Philly love out. Yeah, Father Cavara. I tried to get him in here, but he doesn't deal with our shenanigans anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. There's liquor, there's cursing. I don't know.
Video, that is hilarious. That's so funny. I feel like that's a good sign. That's a good omen. But this Eagles team, I love the way it's built. Both of these teams are so good. They're so talented. They were the top seeds in both of their conferences. They both won 14 games this year. None of that even matters at this point. I love the fact that the Eagles have the defense that they do right now. This pass rush is so good. They have so many guys that can rotate. The depth is just insane. Hassan Reddick was the best pickup of the offseason. Howie Roseman did such a good job bringing him in. Local kid that's like such a great underdog story in and of itself for him, being a walk-on at Temple, then going to being a first-round draft pick who was drafted by the Cardinals. So he's going home to the team that drafted him, even though he's playing for his hometown team. And then the fact that this team is healthy, too. The secondary, seeing Avonte Maddox back and having everyone back, like just to be able to use them in all the different ways that they can. They can bring pressure without blitzing. They have great guys in coverage. And obviously the offense is so good. The running game, they have everything going on right now. And with everyone healthy, it's such a perfect matchup. And I love that they're playing the Chiefs. And the Chiefs, they don't have Steve Spagnuolo. I always joke around during the playoffs, it's always Spag season. And everyone starts to talk about Steve Spagnuolo's defense and how it really starts to come on. But I just don't think, on paper at least, the Eagles defense is so much better. Now, of course, they have guys like Chris Jones, who is insane, and Frank Clark. They're going to combine for a few sacks, I think. But I think that this team, like, they're so good. It's going to be really close, and it might even go to overtime.
Ooh, wow.
So I was listening to you talk, and I'm just thinking like I'm watching NFL Network, right? And my thought was that, like, let's be honest. We're nothing but Philly fans here. Like, they're going to dog the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, it's not on paper. It's not even a close matchup. I'm just saying what I see, because you guys know I bet, right? But what I see on paper, I don't think this is going to be close. I don't know how Kansas City is going to score. And that's hard for me to say because of who's over there on that sideline, who's over there in Patrick Mahomes. But I just don't – they haven't seen a defense like ours. Like, we have stars and all pros at every single level of this defense. I think they were talking about it on 97.5 when I was coming in today. Is this not the best team that you've ever seen? Like, period.
For the Eagles, absolutely.
From a Philadelphia Eagles standpoint, organization-wise, is this not the best team you've ever seen?
Yeah, when you go by position,
yeah.
Probably is the most talented team the Eagles have ever put on the field.
Not only that, but I think you win in the trenches. And they might have Jones and Frank Clark, but this offensive line is not allowed a single sack or pressure.
We just saw the defensive player of the year, Smitty.
Exactly. I don't think they're going to get a sack. I mean, Lane Johnson hasn't given up a sack in almost 3 years.
It's so wild.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I even get a chance to talk about my love for Hurts, and that's why they're going to win too.
we have the president of the Jalen Hurts fan club in here. He's been telling us for 2 years. He doesn't let us forget it. Every show he reminds us that he was on the Jalen Hurts train from get-go. Thank you, Smitty.
Yeah.
You're seeing the
light. But don't you worry about Travis Kelce and the connection that he has with Mahomes? I feel like anytime that there's an issue or anytime they need a third down conversion, they immediately, Travis Kelce just always is able to make those plays. Like, yes, I think on paper, the Eagles are much more talented. But once the game starts, those plays, that's the one thing that really worries me is Travis Kelce.
And I understand what you're saying. My problem is just that we've heard it every week.
Right. But he delivers every week too.
We've heard it every week. And I love Kelce. I love Mahomes, Hall of Famers, absolutely. But it's just not enough. Because the Eagles are going to score. The Eagles are going to score. So the question is, can that offense score with us? And we've seen that over time. Obviously, you never want to count Pat Mahomes out. I think that was a statement game that he had against Cincinnati, just to remind everybody that y'all must have forgot who I am. So I completely agree with that, and I understand that, and that's why I'm when I say this, I'm trying to be as much respectful as I can, but I honestly think that the Eagles is going to whip their ass.
I love that you're just like over Travis Kelce. You're like, forget it. I hear it every week. I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. But listen, you're right. Like, the Eagles can win so many different ways, so many more ways, I think, than the Chiefs can. Yeah, for sure. We're aligned on this.
They're going to run the ball, right? So it's going to be on Mahomes, and Mahomes can do that, but really all he has is Kelce. Like, that's it. I think Hartman, they already said, I think Andy came out today. He said Hartman's out.
Hartman's done.
He's out.
Yeah,
so
that's not great.
You're done. Like,
Darius Toney, I think, will end up playing some type of role for them, but they don't have those stars. Like they don't have an AJ Brown. They don't have
Exactly.
Devontae Smith. Like they don't
Right.
have these guys that the fact that Howie Roseman was able to get AJ Brown in the offseason is unbelievable. Like, and then on top of all of the other moves that he did. So it does feel a little bit like a team of destiny too.
It almost looks like a perfect Andy Reid team, right? You remember when Donovan didn't have any receivers?
Stop. Andy Reid love. Stop.
But I'm just comparing. You remember when he just had Donovan
No. Yeah.
and just a tight end and a good running back, and that was it. We were
he had
complaining about the
T.O.
Freddie Mitchells. I'm not talking about the T.O., but the Freddie Mitchells, the Todd Pinkstons of the world, the Christian the Curtis or whatever.
Kevin
Curtis.
Christian Curtis. Come on, dude.
Hey, man, you know what I was talking about.
Listen, you know why AJ Brown wanted to come here? I don't even need to say anything else.
Hurts.
Yes, right.
I think the biggest
I think it's going to
key,
get ugly.
I think the biggest key for us is to shut Kelce down. The problem is I'm not quite sure how you do that.
Nobody
And
has.
you make Mahomes pass elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, those
And
wide
Mahomes,
receivers don't scare me.
his ankle is clearly an issue. Now 2 weeks will help him out in that area. But did you see just the way that he was hopping around on it? He was clearly
Yes.
limited, but he was still able to scramble too.
Yeah, he
Right.
still made
Still
plays.
playing through it, right?
Go ahead, Bob. You've been waiting.
Yeah, Bob's been waiting.
Bob's been waiting.
Hey, Colleen, had her pride here.
Hey, wait, really? You
Yeah,
went to have her worship?
I did. I graduated 01.
Hey,
Yeah.
awesome. What's up?
Not much, had her
I
pride,
don't know
right?
you.
Yeah.
What year?
But,
Like, literally no one has ever said had her pride to me, so it like took me a second
Yeah,
to
we're
realize.
still paper code. We all look at him like, what is he doing?
Yeah, what's that mean?
Yeah. Last name's Hartnett, but I just think this defense has been really good all season. I agree with Nate. If the Eagles score first, I think it's a wrap. But this defense, in saying that, has been great all season. Where do you think this defense ranks all time in Philadelphia history and among the league?
Well, it's definitely one of the best in the league because they're so good at every single level. I was actually thinking about it in the offseason. Like, when was the last time, I can't even remember, that the Eagles had a dominant number one wide receiver like AJ Brown and then also corners that could cover, because it always felt like those were the two areas we would have one. We just slipped. Look at us hanging out talking about the birds, and now I'm saying we. So the Eagles, it seemed like they would have one or the other, but never both. And then when they brought in Slay, who is so good, and then he has this personality that goes along with it. And then James Bradbury from the Giants, which made it so much sweeter when he beat them last week. And you have also, or 2 weeks ago, you have CJ Gardner-Johnson, who I think that he is going to play a massive role in this game. Like, he's one of those guys that could maybe even be a Super Bowl MVP if the Eagles pull this off. Like, he's so versatile. I think that he is going to be a guy that's going to have to help defend Travis Kelce in the passing game. And also they use him as a blitzer too, so he can go all over the place. I mean, you saw the way that he was able to put pressure on Daniel Jones that forced the pick to James Bradbury in that game too. So I think he plays a pivotal role. There's so many stars. I don't remember the last time that the Eagles had a defense that was this good, that could bring pressure from the interior and also on the edges too, that could also tackle. Like, they're really good.
I can answer that question.
When?
Gangrene.
Gangrene.
Is that gangrene defense better than this defense, though?
You had
Gangrene didn't win nothing.
no, they didn't, but they were
They
in
had no
91.
offense.
In 91, they were the number one defense across the board. And you had some big names on that defense. You had Seth, you had Reggie, you had Eric, Clyde Simmons.
We're talking 32 years ago. Keep moving.
Back to the games changed so much too.
Yeah,
so
but
it's hard to
that
compare.
defense was so dominant.
Right, but
it was
But
ridiculously
it's hard to
dominant.
compare errors in football because the games just changed so
Oh, yeah,
much.
for sure.
So with
You
that,
put that defense in today's
Yeah, they
NFL,
would have
and
to
they're
adjust.
just as effective.
right, but they would have to adjust a lot of their ways.
Yeah, because the rules have changed.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And
Andre
the
Woodard
things
would
you
get more penalties than he already
Right,
was.
right. The things you got away with back then, you don't get away with today.
I got another question for you, Colleen. So
Okay.
you being, I would say you were being a national media, right? I mean, as your job and profession, would you say, as much as it annoys us Philly fans and the people around this area, does it bother you a little bit too how much disrespect that the Eagles get or with the national media? It seems like we're always getting overlooked.
Always. I mean, that is the same thing that I get when I walk into work. Like, imagine working with people that then just like say it to you in your face all the time too. So I constantly am defending. I'm constantly like being defensive about Philadelphia. I feel like I'm like somehow like Philadelphia's mom, and I'm like, don't you dare talk bad about Philadelphia. I birthed her. Like, so I get it. Like, it just seems it's an easy target, and of course everyone's like, oh, they booed Santa, of course. But I love when I get like, oh, they threw batteries at Santa Claus. I'm like, first of all, get it right. Like, that's wrong. This is not factually correct. Even.
That was JD.
It's immaterial. I know. Very annoying.
But we appreciate you standing up for us.
And we
keep
need
fighting the good fight.
I think we need
till the day I die.
We need more Philly representation in the national media. So it's good that you're one of the yeah. So that's good.
I mean, that's a good. That's a serious question.
Who else?
Who else is who's like from the air?
John Gonzalez, dummy.
John, Mike Garofalo is. Kevin Nagandi is.
Kevin's Temple, right?
Yeah,
he's like.
Yeah, you know who else is? Susie Colbert is too.
Oh yeah, Susie.
Oh really?
I didn't know she was from. She's from
they
Philadelphia.
They just did a story on her. I think Upper Dublin. Is that right?
Oh yeah, you're right. It is Upper Dublin. I think.
Yeah. All right, DJ.
John, good poll. Very nice. James Palmer is who I work with. So is Cameron Wolfe too at NFL Network. He's a Philly area guy. I can't remember if he's from like South Jersey. He's gonna kill me. But he's definitely he's a Philly guy. Yeah.
You would hate the jersey.
You brought up some of the players on the team and the character. I think the Super Bowl might actually be a Super Bowl where people can root for either team. Like if you're not from Philly or KC, Super Bowls in the past, I think most people hate the Patriots other than if you live in New England. Yeah. So it seems like this is the type of Super Bowl. Again, there's likable players on both sides of the ball. This team itself has got a bunch of characters and they're all good, right? They're all fun guys. They all seem like they're good guys. They're all having a blast playing together. So it should be fun. I mean, you just see what Jason and Travis are doing together with their podcast and everything. These guys are real branching out and they're fun people.
Yeah, there's so many personalities. Like I can't wait for opening night because I can't decide who is going to be the standout star because of course Jason Kelce stole the show at the Eagles Super Bowl parade, but that's not him all the time. He's also very thoughtful too, and he's like he can be really reserved. But you have Darius Slay who is constantly just giving monologues, and he's always talking to the media. He's super fun, and I can't wait for him to correct everyone who calls him Darius. Like he's just gonna he'll keep going back to the well on that, and I love it. Jordan Mailata, like. I mean, what a voice he has. He's just an entertainer in general. That guy's awesome. I love him. And then like, I just, the Hassan Reddick story is so awesome. And just how they weren't using him right when he was in Arizona. So he wasn't getting the numbers that he clearly can put up. And then when he went to Carolina, that was a 1-year prove it deal and he proved it. And then he came to Philly, came back home, and the way that he's playing now, he's just changing games. He's wrecking everything. I mean, he wrecked poor Brock Purdy. So this is a good team with a lot of personality too.
Then he's going back to
Arizona.
Yeah. The Super Bowl's in Arizona, so he's going back to Arizona.
Right, exactly. So it's all sorts of homecomings all around.
Okay. We've taken up plenty of your time. We appreciate it. Can we get a prediction? We know you said overtime. Are you ready to give a score?
Oh my God, a score. Okay.
I know it's early. Like it's unfair to do this. There's still a week plus for the game, but we have to get you while we get you.
Unless you want to come back on next Thursday.
There you go.
There you go, Deke. Way to throw the line out.
Okay. I am going to say it'll be Eagles 32 to like 30. Random score. There's going to be like, they're going to be going for 2. There's going to be missed things. I think it's going to be like a little bit of a wild game.
Okay.
Are you pulling for your numbers in your block pool with that score or what?
I don't know. This is why I don't bet, guys.
Well, Colleen, we really do appreciate you giving us some time. Glad we could hook up. Doing great things. Continue to be the mom of Philly, as you said, and protect us and make sure that we're being represented like
And
we should
and
be.
we'll see you at the
On the
parade.
left coast.
Right.
Yes, and will you be lucky enough to cover the parade again this year?
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Very nice, very nice.
All right.
Tell John we told him we get him back on when Sixers, but there's too much going on. So we'll reach out to John when Sixers season starts up. We know he's a hoops head, and we'll get him back in here.
I'll let him know. Thank you so much, guys. This was so much fun. Go Birds.
Go
Birds.
Birds.
Really
Thanks,
nice,
Colleen.
Colleen.
It was good.
You guys, shirts to them. I think that'd be cool.
They have shirts.
Oh, they both have shirts.
Yeah, I sent shirts out to John back
okay.
before the holidays. Yeah,
Oh, my bad.
they get shirts. Marcus has got a shirt.
I'm slow.
You should have
We gotta
suggested to her that, when next time she talks to the Eagles, to take a look at their mail to get your stickers.
Yeah, we're getting our stickers.
Yeah.
I every time I see a press conference, I look for those stickers. All right, that was good stuff.
That was good.
Very enjoyable.
Where are we going now?
Here, I got a question.
What's your question?
Who was more fun on the show, her or her hubby?
That's not a good question.
That's not a good question.
That's a terrible
What is
question.
wrong with you?
It's
Probably
still
still
fresh.
relevant
We're
to
still
her.
we're still live
I
and
know,
recording.
I know.
Come on.
I was
They,
just thinking,
they
Just
were
thought I'd
both
throw it
very
out
good.
there.
I'd like
They
to
were
get
both
them
great.
They
on
were both
together.
great.
Honestly,
I agree
yes.
100%.
I thought it was
You
pretty
can't
funny.
get much better than Hapro Horsham. I mean, come on.
I think it was pretty funny. Like a lot of their answers to the
They
question,
did. That's
they
exactly.
were
That's
very
weird.
similar.
Yes.
And even just her like analysis.
Yeah.
And then I remember when John was on, he was talking about how much he loves Philly so much because it's we say we like when we're addressing a team.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
And then Colleen caught herself saying we, and I was like, John did the same thing. Like that's so far.
Wait,
How similar they are.
did John care when he won?
Did we ask him that?
I believe I
That's
did.
more of like a new question. I don't think that
I'm
was-
pretty sure we
He
did.
was happy for him. He
Okay.
said yes,
All right.
yes.
I don't
didn't
think-
wanna-
I don't
I didn't
think
wanna put her
Colleen
on the
would be.
spot with
No,
that
that
question.
should be.
She was a City 6 girl. 'Cause
Ah, the
John brought
Palestra
that up,
question.
And I
Yeah.
was thinking,
Yeah,
do we
she's
ask
Drexel.
that? But it is Super Bowl time. We can ask
Yeah.
that.
It's like Drexel, right? She went to Drexel.
I think
That-
John
Yeah,
said
she went to
that.
Drexel. Yeah, she said that.
Weren't
Yeah.
you listening to her interview?
Yeah, I was wondering
So
if it was
she
there.
said that-
Well, yeah, but she's
I
also.
went to
it's also-
Drexel for college and I lived in Queen Village for 10 years. I mean,
You see this?
listening years. Like
Yo,
I
you
told
see
kids in
this?
school.
He said
See this?
listening ears.
Inappropriate.
And then you're talking about 1991 defense, but we're talking about Super Bowl 2023. Get out of here with that.
The question was though. Look, the
No,
91 defense in this defense.
This defense.
Yes, it's
Depends
not
on
a. It's
what
not a
era,
run.
though.
It's not a runaway though.
It
It's not a
depends on
It's
runaway.
not a
era.
runaway, but you can got away with a lot more. Could you imagine if this
you put-
defense could do what you did
I
in
was going to
91?
say, yeah, like if
We'd
you're
be
putting,
having everybody
if
out.
you're putting this defense in 91, I think they're just as successful, if not more, because you could get away with more back then.
Right.
And if you put 91's defense this era, I think they're still a dominant defense just because of the
They
guys
would
they had.
adjust.
But you have a lot of adjusting to do on
Yeah,
that.
they would adjust.
There's no bump and run
They
all
were-
the way down
they-
the field.
It
There's
wasn't
no-
back. It wasn't back
There's
then
no
either.
head slapping.
How
It
about
wasn't back then either.
Well,
Head
there's a
slaps.
lot
Head
of
slaps
stuff-
went out in the
They
80s.
couldn't hit the
Bump-
quarterback the way
Bump
they
and,
do
no,
now.
that they couldn't do. Bump and run went out in the 80s. Also, you couldn't. Some of the hits with leading with the
Right,
helmet.
yeah,
that
there's
sort
a
of
lot
thing.
they would have to
yeah,
adjust.
you
Even Dawkins would have to.
There was no
adjust.
such thing as a what do they call it? Not unprotected player. What the hell is it called?
What do you think of
a
unprotected?
When a player is
defenseless.
defenseless player? Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, there was no such thing back then.
You look at the positions though. The 91 defense, they had linebackers.
Right.
They
This
don't
team
have
does- I mean,
linebackers.
TJ Edwards
Eric
is-
Allen is a Hall of Famer.
TJ Edwards.
I
is a-
think
Although he's
maybe
not in there, he
Slay, yeah.
should be.
Slay.
he's on the.
He's on the
cusp.
fence.
This could be.
He's-
This could be a. This game could be the yes or no on that. Maybe.
This game could be the yes or no
Same
for a
with
lot
Brandon
of players.
Same with Brandon Graham. Same with Fletcher Cox. You know, you could toss them in the Hall.
What are you talking
You're talking
about?
about Hall of Fame?
Talks. No, he's saying Eric Allen's a Hall of Famer, but he's
Brandon Graham's not getting in the Hall of Fame.
Maybe this game puts him in
No.
2 rings.
It doesn't
Third
matter.
all
He
time.
doesn't
Eagles
have,
sacks leader, right? Second all time.
yeah, in the Eagles Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
not
he
Fletcher
doesn't have
Cox.
enough sacks.
How many? Dude, Fletcher Cox.
Fletcher Cox, maybe.
Three-time
I'll tell
All-Pro.
you, this secures Lane Johnson, I think.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
I think Lane
And
and Kelce.
If they do win, I think you're going to see a lot of guys retire.
Stop
If they
saying
do?
if. Stop saying if.
Mhm.
when they win.
I don't want to.
They
listen,
will.
When they
I don't
win.
like
Thank
that.
you.
I don't like
Thank
that.
you. Right.
I'm
Why?
confident, but I don't want to be cocky.
Right.
Why?
You guys, like Nate's talking about, like we're going to show up and it's going to be like a 60
You guys
point blowout.
seem to really forget that Patrick Mahomes is on that other sideline, and
With one
right.
leg.
And no
Dude's
team
pretty-
has stopped
you know
Travis
what?
Kelce
you know
either.
what? He doesn't throw the ball with his leg, Jim.
You know what? Let me tell you something. That because you know what? He's
I
not
bet you he could.
he's not going to get time to throw the ball.
And
That's
That
okay,
line
wait.
is playing
But
lights out
who
right now.
stopped Travis Kelce? Let's be honest. What team
See,
stops him?
to me, this reminds me of the Super Bowl 52 with Gronk.
Yeah.
Shut him down pretty well in the first half. In the second half, he just comes out Gronk.
Yeah,
Gronk,
but
Gronk,
our
Gronk.
defense
So
is
look,
Yeah,
better.
it's
I
just
think that
not
could happen
enough
here.
though.
Travis gets 120 and 2 touchdowns. I don't give a shit. We're still winning 30.
Yeah, like it's not enough.
That's what happened in Super Bowl 52.
Maybe.
I don't- Maybe it's happening. It's happening.
All right.
The
It's
thing
happening,
is-
I don't
sweetheart.
like the
You,
over.
you can't lose Kelce on the field. You
Yeah,
have to
but
know
I
where
think
he's
you-
at.
They're
at all
not
times.
going to. I
you
think
guys are just too like DJ said. Like you guys are just
There's-
assuming
you
they're
guys
just
are
showing
cocky.
up.
You guys are cocky.
You guys are
I'm
cocky.
confident.
Nate's talking about a blowout. You're talking about it's happening.
He's already got a spot
Right.
marked on Broad Street.
Right.
Where he's
Like,
gonna
can
be,
you guys
like-
relax?
keep talking like you are. I'm not going to let you next to me.
Can we relax?
I think the Eagles win, but I definitely don't think it's a blowout. It's going to be a nail biter.
I think it's a blowout.
You guys are like, I would think Nate and Jim say it's a lock. Almost
Yep.
you're ready to do stone cold lock.
I did it for the last 2 games. What's
And-
going to stop me now?
And I think Deke's probably
All right,
close to
Queen.
a lock.
Freddie Mercury over there.
Nothing can stop me now.
That's
Kel-
your-
Kelsey's not enough.
That's my point. It's him and Mahomes.
You better hope that Hurts doesn't have like 400 yards passing because I'm going to be.
No, because then I'll tell you I told you so.
Get the fuck
I
out
told
of
you
here.
so. If he has 400 yards passing, they whoop their asses.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
going to be sitting here
Dude,
saying,
Hurts is
I
throwing for
told you so.
400
What were you
yards.
so worried
That's
about?
very
AB's
That's
gonna
my
get it.
confidence.
Hashtag noodle arm.
That's
AB's
my
getting it.
confidence. This guy right here, he's got a lot to prove. This team, it's a team of destiny.
I think
It's happening.
the one thing I will say that like people keep on talking about is like, which I agree. Like you're saying somebody talking about KC's defense. We play. Let's just be honest. We still put 31 points up against
Yes.
the number 1 defense.
The offense was not good last week.
Devontae didn't do much. AJ Brown didn't do much. Goddard didn't do anything.
They just
Jalen
ran the
hasn't
ball.
crossed 200 yards passing in the 12 games.
Yeah, they
Jalen
just-
has
they
not
just
played
run-
well, but he hasn't needed to.
Yeah,
We
You gotta need to
we
win the
dictate the game.
Is
We
it
dictate.
Super Bowl or can we just
I think so.
I don't think you need to, but this is the defense you can do it to
You
because
do
their
think that?
secondary is so bad
Yeah, their
and they're all
defense.
banged up.
Yeah.
They have two starters out.
Now you're starting
I
to say
think
The
I'm
wide
saying
receivers are banged up.
The
Dude, I'm
matchup is
telling you, I'm
bad.
confident, but I'm not.
It's a-
cocky. I'm not.
The
I'm
one-
not
Bad
crazy with it.
matchup,
Yeah, the
man.
one
I'm with
thing
you,
I will
Nate.
tell you, one thing I will say that made me like really like stop in a minute is that the line opened up at 2.5 and that quick.
Stop
and
looking at the
5
line.
point- No,
Yeah,
but in
you get
5
into the
points-
line
Stop looking
too
at the
much.
But it
line.
was a 5-point swing like that. That's why I'm saying everybody's better
Because
than
the
the
NFL's
Eagles.
scripted,
Stop
dude. You
looking. It
didn't
is.
know
It's
that?
completely.
Stop
It's completely
comparing.
scripted. No, it is. It's completely scripted. Look at all the storylines you're getting out of this. If it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bengals and the Eagles,
Yeah.
what's the storyline?
Joe Burrow versus Hurts.
But have you seen some?
That's
of that
not
stuff? Have
exciting.
you seen the stuff on Twitter with that though? It's
Yeah, I know, I know.
hilarious. Like I seen
So the
Somebody
I won't
released
say
a script
some of
for
them,
next
but
year.
I will say I saw the one where it was Tom Brady reading his script after he got drafted, and then it was like some guy going, "Ooh," like getting all
I
jacked
mean,
up. Like,
That's all you got to worry
X
about.
Eh,
All you got to worry
I
about.
think you got to worry about other guys.
Who?
Who?
Listen,
Their running game is not going to be.
I'm
a
listening, Smitty. Who?
Pacheco can hurt you. He's done it
Pacheco
before
can't hurt
this
us.
season.
Dude, you
He's a
forget who their
rookie.
coach
He's
is.
a rookie. I know that.
if they
but-
don't get pressure on Mahomes, not saying they won't. If they don't,
That's any quarterback.
So what about this defensive line makes you think they're not going to get
I'm not-
pressure on
I'm
Mahomes?
quick passes.
quick pick, getting
That's
it
how
out
you beat
quick.
them.
Right,
And they have the quarterback to do that.
right.
Jim, I'm with you, bro.
They,
Yeah, I got a scenario that might temper your
Hands open.
Ass
your-
whooping.
might temper your
Do you think so?
enthusiasm for this game.
Do you?
Remember when we were going in against the Patriots? We were decided underdogs in that game.
Yep.
Correct.
I'd rather be
And
in
what
that
happened?
position.
We won.
Yeah.
Not that KC's decided underdogs in this
they are.
game,
Yes, they are.
but
They 100% are.
but we're supposed to be the better team. There's a chance that the lesser team rises up to the
That's
occasion.
not a
and
good
wins.
comparison.
Dude, that is horrible.
That's not a good
Dude,
comparison.
what's the
okay,
what's the
okay,
story
let's-
of
let's-
last
let's go
15 out
with
of
this.
19 teams
Let's-
wear white jerseys?
Let's go with his scenario. Who's going to beat you?
Mahomes and
Mahomes.
Kelce.
So
Who else is
what is
the other?
Mahomes' numbers? He's got to throw for well over 300 yards, which he hasn't. And if you look at his history,
Let's look at
he's been trash
I
in
wanna-
Super Bowls.
2 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. I did look at that.
Yeah, so
My question is, I want what Nate said when Colleen was on. I think is spot on. And yes, Mahomes is a great quarterback. I think Travis Kelce's top tight end in the league. But you got to look at this defense too. You're underestimating this defense and the defensive line.
Mahomes' yards is set at
This is-
290. 290 and a half right now.
under. He hasn't passed for 290 in the Super Bowl yet.
What
Yeah.
about our defensive line though? You keep bringing up Mahomes, Smitty. Like, what about our
But like
defensive line?
DJ said, you get the ball out quick. Doesn't matter about
But
the
what about our
defensive line.
secondary though?
Bob, you're on the side they win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the
Oh,
side
yeah.
that they win, but
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here
Are you
saying
decide
reason
you're
why-
Stone Cold Lock or
no.
I'm a lock. Yeah.
Okay.
This is if they lose this game, the only way they lose this game is the same way that I'm going to say it again. The only way they lose this game is if they beat themselves. And I'm talking about
Yeah.
the
But I
coaching goes
agree
awry,
with
they don't
that.
run the ball,
But
all
that's
kinds of
any
shit
team.
happens.
I agree with that, but just sitting
No,
here
it's not any team. This team is going to win. The only way they lose this game is if they beat themselves, which can happen to any team. But that's what I'm saying. If
when
they
they've
beat
lost
themselves,
this
that's when they
year.
lose.
When they've lost this year, it's been because of turnovers.
Yeah.
Sure.
They
And
gotta
I think
stay
it's been,
out of-
I think it's been borderline
Bad
poor
coaching.
play calling
And
on both
sometimes-
sides.
And bad play calling, yes.
Are
I
you,
mean,
are you
I
worried
don't
about
like-
turnovers from the KC defense?
I'll tell you what.
No, I just don't want them, like Bob is saying, to beat themselves by turning the ball over
Right.
with a fumble
Yeah,
or
Overthinking the coaching.
The man in the corner.
He's not going to stop, so you just got to talk. Go.
bullshit.
I'll
I'm not
start-
going to stop. You're the one that doesn't stop.
I barely said anything.
I'll start directing
Colleen.
traffic.
We-
Smitty has to yell.
You haven't seen somebody on this show yet that you won't talk over.
I'm giving the signal. You're
Colleen
still
Wolfe.
talking. You're
Oh,
all still
okay.
talking. I'm giving
One.
the signal. The man in the corner, please.
The reason why I think Eagles blow out the Chiefs is because their offense can morph into so many different things. You can't just zone in on one thing on this offense.
Well, of course, we know that.
You can't zone in on Hurts. You then you leave open AJ Brown, Smith, and Goddard.
Put the mic close.
Do you
All
like
right.
the fact that the week of the Super Bowl,
And-
Steichen's now having a second interview? I don't
Oh,
like
stop with
either. I
that.
don't
Stop
like
with that.
I also think if you zone in on the running passing game, it's gonna leave open for Sanders, Gamo, and Scott. To have huge
But I
leads.
understand. I disagree with DJ. Like, you guys are writing off Pacheco like he's nothing.
He's nothing.
I don't think he's.
What has
He
Pacheco
is
done?
nothing.
What has he done?
What are you talking about? He's got 850 yards rushing since he started. He's okay. I don't
Does he have 850?
Yeah,
Look what we did
I
to
don't
Derrick
think so.
Henry and CMC.
Yeah, but 850 over 17 games.
He didn't
It's not a
start
whole
the
lot.
whole year.
Wait, let me ask you this: Who's better, CMC and Derrick Henry, or Pacheco?
Of course.
All right, look what we did to them, though.
But what you are not understanding, what DJ and I are saying, it can happen.
I know, and it
We
can
lost
happen
to the
when- it can-
fucking Commanders.
it can
Let's not
happen when-
forget that.
All right, that was a fun game.
Well, it can happen in
We
the
beat
Super Bowl.
ourselves. It's not gonna happen in the Super Bowl.
Okay, we'll see. I hope. Listen, I'm just not going to sit here and say stone cold lock blowout. 'Cause
I'm with Andrew. This team dictates however the
Man,
game goes.
you guys
They
are, like,
decide
playing in a
from
parade
from
already.
from bell to bell. They were the most consistent team in the league all season. I don't expect that to stop.
Okay.
I'm not worried.
All
Easy
right.
win.
All right.
Somebody's got their
To
hand
the
up.
man with the
I got a
fantastic
question.
hair.
Thank you, sir. So, like you were saying, this offense can morph into so many different things, and they have so many different weapons. Who are you going to guard this week? Like Nate said earlier with the Chiefs to Colleen, we hear every week about how you're going to stop Mahomes and Kelce. Well, we're saying the same thing every week about the Eagles. How are you going to stop A.J. Brown or Devontae
Right.
Smith or Goddard? Like,
We agree, but me and you are sitting here not giving it a lock. That's what I'm saying.
I think he's coming to my side.
Yeah, the way he looks.
The way I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles win.
I do too,
I think
but
it's a
I'm not
lock.
ready to say it.
I don't know if it's a blowout, but I think they're going to win for sure.
I would
by
take
10
I would
points.
take the -2.5.
That's a blowout.
You would take,
I would take -5 Eagles.
I would take minus a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Minus a touchdown. Yeah, I would take minus a touchdown.
All right. I mean, I
You
just,
can't.
I'm
DJ,
just
what did we
confident.
talk
I don't
last
wanna
week?
be
We
over
talked-
cocky by picking out my spot on Broad Street already, like some of these are doing.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about.
DJ, what did we talk? What did we say last week about San Fran?
Mahomes and Kelce aren't nobodies. Like
Right. That's
and the
what-
whole
that's
Chiefs
what-
DJ, Nate's asking you what did you
yeah, he
say
doesn't have
last
the
week
headphones.
about San Fran?
Oh, I forgot he didn't have
yeah,
headphones on.
San Fran. I
We
mean,
were talking about minus 20, minus
Oh, that
24.
was my buddy. I didn't do that. My buddy took it.
And then he win again?
Again, but he took -30.5.
We went up against the best defense in the league apparently last week, and it wasn't a problem.
Look,
What?
Yeah,
the
Give me-
31 points is kind of it's I don't know.
It's
how to-
deceiving a little bit, but
No,
the
but
thing-
a part of that why it's 31 points that we put up is because of they had no quarterbacks. We were getting great
Yeah,
field
dude,
position
you're talking about
every
Howard.
time.
if he was in there, we would have got turnovers. Brock Purdy was not. He was
I
not
don't think
coming
He
to this
wasn't-
town.
Brock
no,
Purdy
no.
was not beating that
But I'm
team.
saying that part of the reason why we did so well against that defense was we had great field position each time, almost every time we
Because
scored.
of turnovers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the defense is great for the Niners, and we did put up 31 points. But if we started every drive in bad field position or not so great field position, I don't know if we put up 31 points still. And part of that reason why we put up 31 points is because they had no quarterbacks. They had us.
Boo-hoo.
They had us playing back there.
Boo.
No, I hear you.
I want to
know.
shoot that elephant
Nate,
in the
so,
room.
Nate,
All this talk about
Hold on.
soft schedules and so look, let's play
Hold
this
on, I
scenario out. No, you move. Let's play this scenario out.
It
If Hurts,
talking so
if
much.
Hurts would have got hurt last week, what would the media have said? Oh, that stout Niners
I
defense,
agree with
that rookie quarterback came in there and slayed the big mighty Eagles. Nobody would have said, "Oh, the Eagles lost their quarterback. If they
Of
would have had
course.
Jalen Hurts, they
Right.
might have had a chance." No, so it's all bullshit.
Nobody
Don't
said
tell
it
me
in Super
it's a
Bowl
part of the game. We
52
knocked
when
them
had
out.
Foles. Nobody
Yeah.
said that when we had Foles.
It gets back to the disrespect this town is getting,
Yeah.
and it's going to stop, boys. We're going to get another Super Bowl this year. And we're on the map. F the
And then
Patriots.
are you gonna
F the
are you
Chiefs.
gonna finally say Howie Roseman?
I told you I'm getting a
deserves to be in the
tattoo.
Hall
I
of
already
Fame?
did. I already said it, Howie. I'm getting a tattoo of saying it with the double-fisted Lombardis across the chest.
Wait,
that's on record.
Maybe not across my.
Oh,
maybe
man.
not across my chest. On my leg. On my leg.
With a trophy on each nipple.
know about this. So we're gonna find out.
Nate, who's gonna be your Super Bowl MVP since
I
you
think
already
Brody
have
wants
a
to
lock?
talk. Yeah,
I think Brody has something.
Brody has something to say.
You want a tattoo too, bro?
Yeah. To me, yeah, I think it is just stopping Kelce. How many points would you consider a blowout? Like,
That was my question. Like I got them winning by 14. Is
I
is
could
that a
see
blowout?
10.
Yeah,
I could see winning.
I
by
think that's
10.
a blowout to me.
Not.
I don't think
Go ahead, Brody.
on paper, yeah, this is not a close game.
I already have
and
my score.
Another thing is, I don't think Pacheco is doing anything on this defense.
Mhm.
What has he really proven?
Listen, all I'm saying is
You're
it can
scared. Say
happen.
you're scared.
I'm
It's
not
okay.
scared. I'm
We
not
can all be scared.
I don't think you
We're
should-
here to
I don't
support you,
think
Ryan.
You guys should sit here and just assume. It's a game.
It goes back to that killer instinct that Philadelphia used to have. And it was always whether in any sport that you watched. And now you get people like Smitty, like, I don't know about that.
He's
blowout.
too
I don't
too
know
used to
if
the
he can."
Sixers
Dude, you were
disappointing
just,
him.
Hold on. You were just saying a little bit ago. Now you flipped script. You
I
were
didn't flip script.
Yeah, you did. In the
I
car, you said, I don't know. It's going to be really tough. Now you're calling a lot.
No. You asked me 3 questions in less than 2 seconds, and I was on the first one. Stop with that.
Be confident.
Just like you are now.
Be confident.
Rapid fire questions.
That is classic
Be
Smitty.
confident.
Good summary. Listen,
That's
I'm just
Smitty's
saying.
text world too.
I'm in the middle of answering his first question. He's already answering me his third question.
All right, Bob.
Here, I'm reading something now. So they lost Hardman to a pelvis injury.
Yes. That's all.
Juju had swelling in his knee. Tony sprained his ankle. and then the cornerback Snead was in concussion protocol, and Willie Gay Jr. hurt his shoulder. So like we're not even talking about like a healthy team.
But two
coming
of them
into
are-
the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
two of them
All
are
of them-
going to be fine next week.
Yeah,
Gay
Gay and
and-
the
and,
linebacker are healthy
yeah.
now. They're fine. They said that today. And
Yeah,
they
that's
think
2 out of 5. That's
Ju-
not a good percentage, fellas.
Juju's going to play. They said is on
Yeah, I mean
track.
those guys are going to play, but they're just not going to be 100%.
I don't know about Tony. I don't know what he's done. So
And are you scared of Juju at this moment? Like, you think Juju's going to go run wild on us?
no, but what didn't Juju have a pretty good year?
Yeah,
Nine-
we're talking
No,
about
he had like
900
maybe
yards.
touchdowns.
how many was it? 3?
3 touchdowns.
Yeah. He had a lot of targets and a lot of catches,
He's not doing anything.
but it didn't do much for him. Trust me, I had him on my fantasy, 2 of my fantasy teams. He had a lot of targets. If you were in a PPR, it helped. But outside of that,
Yeah, I'm
he
not
wasn't
saying it's going to be a pure domination game with the Eagles, but I have the same confidence that we had going into the Giants game. Like I'm not really scared of this team, especially after seeing how we played last 2 weeks. I was
Yeah.
ready to take on anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to
Especially
take
with
on
the
anyone.
Even the
defensive line
Somerton
play.
Spartans.
I think the team wins. I definitely think they win. I just don't think it's a blowout by any means. I think it's a close game.
Your MVP question is interesting.
Yeah,
'cause
I'm curious.
I don't understand also why they said the easiest road to the Super Bowl, but they gave both teams a chance to win. Like, how does that make sense?
because everybody's just saying
Like
our
they
schedule. It's
said-
the whole bullshit
Like,
about
they
we had a
said we
soft
the
schedule.
easiest road to the Super Bowl.
It's not like the
Jimmy's
Chiefs
answering
played.
your
The
question.
Chiefs had an easy road too.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
well,
they
There's
had
other
to
teams
had to
out there
play.
that had it. too.
Yeah, but we just knocked off and destroyed this. That's
I mean, we
That's what
played
I'm
the
saying,
same.
that's the
that
part I
dude
don't
stinks.
understand. That the Niners were like the
Yeah,
favorites,
they
and
were-
then all of a
Both
sudden,
teams
the-
had a chance. They were giving both teams were given a chance by the media to win.
The
So I did.
49ers they were the one team all season long that I was concerned about. And we just
you were just
we just-
concerned about our quarterback.
we destroyed them on both sides of the ball.
I was surprised
They're
about
all,
that.
every team's a
I-
fraud.
I was surprised.
This
Chiefs are going to be exposed. Sorry.
I'm no longer going to be surprised. I'm just going to say, I think we're not good.
Lock it in right now. 38-17 Eagles.
Whoa, you're a week
got
ahead of
another
time.
week.
We still got another week, dude.
Locking it in.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
want to hear
You
Dave.
feel
Dave
confident.
was about MVP, so I'm curious what you say.
I think it's tough because I think Hurts has not been accurate the last 2 games.
Right.
So I think that shoulder injury is somewhat legit. So you just wonder what he looks like in a Super Bowl, how he looks. So I think Reddick is a really, really good bet. Hassan Reddick as an MVP. It's been a while since the defensive player has won. And maybe the hot hand in Gainwell.
Who's your
See,
player
I was
that could
gonna-
sneak in there? Gainwell? Or what's another one?
I think Reddick is the one that's going to sneak in
Reddick
there.
has the best value. with the
Because,
best
because Reddick's
potential.
been hot. Like he's been
Yeah.
on a tear in the playoffs.
He's been
Yeah.
the best player on
They're
this
going to
team.
key in
I
on
was
him
gonna-
now.
Because it's hard to pick a wide receiver. 'Cause that means they're scoring
Well,
touchdowns, and it's going to go to Hurts.
how about Nate Bruce Sanders? He gets 2 touchdowns again.
Yeah, but if he only had 42
But
yards
his rushing yards
yeah.
aren't up.
I mean, if he goes
He didn't need it.
150 and 2 touchdowns, yeah.
What was the James White when he got MVP? Didn't he have like
I don't think he
But
got it. He
had
should
the
have got
total
it.
yards
No,
though, because he
yeah,
does a lot of
they gave it
receiving.
to Brady that
They gave
year.
it to Brady that game, but
Really?
Brady
Yeah.
gave him the like
Car.
the card.
I
Yeah.
could've said like
No, he should have won it,
Yeah,
but he
that's,
didn't.
that's,
So
that's
he
the
got
quarterback bias. Right? It's good. That's going to be hard for Reddick to do. If Reddick has 3 sacks,
Let's
a
say, he has,
turnover.
let's say he has the game that he had last week. Is it the MVP and Eagles win?
If Hurts had 2 touchdowns, he's
That's
going to
hard.
get MVP.
I mean,
If you
I
take
think
the
Hurts
same
been
game they
the best
had
player
last
on this
week,
team the whole playoffs.
I agree with you.
if you
Maybe
take
the
the same
last
game
3-4
that they
weeks of
had
the
last
season,
week,
too.
then I think Reddick gets it
Yeah,
because he had a forced fumble, he had 2 sacks.
It would be
Yeah.
dumb not to key in on Reddick. Someone else
Yeah,
is going to
they're
have
not-
to.
yes,
Reddick
right.
is a tight end.
Do they have
I don't even know their line. Isn't their line
not
pretty
good?
bad?
They were holding
No, they got
all over the
2. They got
place
2
last
Pro
week.
Bowlers on there. I think.
Orlando Brown, right?
Orlando Brown Jr.
Creed Humphrey's not bad. He's a center.
Yeah.
He's like a young Kelce, honestly.
I think he's a Pro Bowler, right? I think they had a
Yeah,
guard
and
and
then
a
what do they
center.
have?
went Pro
Fisher too.
Fisher.
He's
Fisher's
Or
Eric
is he
Fisher.
hurt?
Yeah.
He's still
No, it's
hurt,
Eric Fisher.
Yeah, is he hurt?
I don't even know if he's playing.
I don't-
Still.
Is he even on the Chiefs?
I don't think
think
he's on the Chiefs
I don't
anymore.
think he is.
I thought he was.
Who's the hockey player, Fisher? He's married to Carrie Underwood.
Come on, Bob, that's you.
Because that's who I was thinking.
It used to be a fly, Mike Fisher.
Mike. That's who it is.
I think this extra week, Hurts did not look the best last week.
He looked bad last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
But I think this extra week is going to help him, and I think he
2
comes
weeks,
out
right?
closer to the 13-1 Hurts.
he took some shots last game running. That
Yeah.
one where he scrambled for the first down, that dude came right at that shoulder. He
Yeah.
knew what I think it was Jimmy Ward.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
But
And
I
Hurts
think
got
this
up
extra
a little
week,
slow. Hurts got up a little slow.
yeah, but I think this extra week is going to help him.
This
And he's
kid
going to
was-
be closer to 13-1 Hurts.
This kid was born for big moments. Though.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
look at his history, like
Well, he did get kind of benched in a national championship
but you know,
game
I
at
think
Alabama.
he's a different player now.
He
Right?
absolutely is.
It made him who
He
he is
absolutely
now.
is. Yeah.
If
Yeah,
anything, he
he's-
got benched, and then you came back and got them to the title
Yeah.
game.
With
I-
some rear end.
I'm so impressed with what Hurts did this season.
He's not elite yet.
I was on board, but I wasn't, totally on board with him early on in the beginning of the season. What I've seen out of him, I'm totally there. I'm so
He's not top 5 in the NFC anymore. He's top 5 in the league, in my
But
opinion.
we all
he's-
said that at
yeah.
the beginning of
In
the
my
year.
opinion, no, I
Our
didn't.
Yeah, he's-
rankings,
NFC, not NFL.
I
he's-
think we had him in the top.
I don't
He's,
think he did. I don't think
I wanted to see steady improvement. I wanted to see marked improvement out of him, and
Right.
he's gone above and beyond all of that
So he
by
doesn't,
like 3
he
levels.
doesn't have a noodle arm like somebody that comes on. once in a
No,
while on
no,
every show.
and that was my biggest concern was him
Right.
getting the ball downfield, and he's proven
Not only that,
over and over
the
again
big-
he gets the ball down.
adjustment-
He's even overthrown a couple,
But
wide receivers,
biggest
which is not good, but
Devontae
it
Smith
shows.
did.
Yeah, and AJ
And
in
AJ
the
too.
in the end zone, but it shows you he's got the arm to get it downfield.
He overthrew AJ Brown last
The
year.
biggest,
Yeah, that's what I
the
said.
biggest adjustment is the amount of time it takes to get the ball out of it. He's so much quicker.
Yes, yeah, he's just head and
People,
from that, when Tampa Bay was screaming that he can't read the defense, you can forget about that. That's out the window now.
Dominic Sue said that because he played for the Bucs
he did
last year.
work. He did,
And he said that.
Right.
It's like you can just tell, even in practice, right away, I noticed how quick he is now at the line. When last
Yeah.
year, during that playoff game, Todd Bowles was mic'd up saying, like, this dude
Yeah.
can't read a defense.
Yeah.
Like,
He
that's,
did
I-
work
you
out
know,
with the GOAT.
I
in the
would like to
offseason.
know. I would love to know what he did in the offseason to make himself this
He
much
worked
better.
with Tom-
But how much? I'm talking about film sessions to get to the point where he can read a defense as well
That's
as
all
he
he
does
does.
and
That's
get rid of
all
the
he
ball.
does. I mean, you read it. He's in the.
Yeah.
First of all, he
It's-
worked out with Tom Brady and Tom Brady's coach. Then they said he's literally in NovaCare
it's crazy
Yeah.
because
all day.
Yeah.
They said, like, there's the coach's son, and then there's Jalen Hurts. Like, Jalen Hurts is a coach's son, but he takes it to another level because all that dude
Yeah.
does
His work.
is
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't
sleep,
even
breathe
party.
football.
He
Yeah.
didn't even go party
Him
with
and
them.
Devontae Smith were like, I'm not going. Like, we're going to watch film on the
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
They have
like,
so many guys on this team that just like Alabama that breed football.
Did you read or hear about that article with Donovan and Michael Vick?
Yeah.
What they said? They both came out and said they wish they handled their careers early on like Jalen Hurts is handling it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because those two had a lot of, especially Michael Vick,
Especially
had
Michael
so
Vick.
much talent.
Yes.
And then he just
And
was,
he kind of threw it
He-
away.
yeah.
But
Because he
same-
never.
Hey, don't sleep on young Donovan. Young Donovan
that's
was a
what I'm saying.
bad
Like,
man.
Nav had so much talent too, but he never invested the time that Hurts is investing in his career. And they're both saying they kind of regret it a little bit because Hurts this might be just the tip of the iceberg with Hurts.
Yeah.
Like,
It-
this
it
could
reminds
really
me of
be
the
a start
story-
no, I'm serious. Like, I'm not even trying to joke around with Smitty, but like, I think this could be a little bit of a start to like
not only that,
not dynasty, but like a powerhouse in the
you
NFL.
know,
They're a young team.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
this reminds me of a story about Kobe and AI. I think they were at an All-Star game or something together, and they were talking about what they were going to do after the game or something like that. Whatever the situation was, and AI said, "I'm going to party," and Kobe's like, "I'm going to the gym."
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah, I do remember
And
that story.
AI was like,
you know what the
What?
biggest difference between a Hurts and a McNabb is? Maybe McNabb had more talent than Hurts early on. McNabb didn't have the control of the locker room that Hurts did.
No,
McNabb was
no,
not the
McNabb
leader.
was
that
not
Yeah,
Hurts
he was a
did.
goof. He was kind of a
Hurts-
goof.
Well, he was out partying.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw pictures and videos of him out at
Partying
clubs
is
in
what it
Philly.
is,
No,
but like,
dude, Hurts has control. Those veterans respect the hell out of him. Yeah,
Yeah.
because of how he goes about
Dude,
his business.
I'm sure you've seen on social the Eagles post their victory speeches. After the
Oh
game.
my God, yeah.
Brandon Graham said, I think it was after the Giants game, or maybe it was even the Niners. I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah, yeah.
Brandon Graham broke the team down, and then he didn't break it down like he said, all right, now I'm going to let Hurts speak.
Right.
Like they all let Hurts say the last
he's
word.
the last one.
Yeah, so
That's-
that says a lot about you.
Yep.
That's the
says a
one
lot about
thing
him.
I agree with that Nick Wright said on that video, whoever posted it in our
I did.
text thing. He said the way he handles himself as a 24-year-old, I wouldn't expect that out of a 34-year-old.
Yeah.
And the way he handles himself as a
It's only his
24-year-old
third year in
is
the league,
just
too.
extraordinary.
It's only his third year,
Yeah.
and he's already having control of a locker room like this. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I'm happy to talk about Eagles. So.
Yes.
And you're worried about Sunday.
I'm not worried. I'm just not going.
We're not worried about this Sunday at all. This Sunday is smooth sailing.
We have a week to continue to stew over it and marinate.
And everyone else is
we
doing
will-
the same
Yep.
thing.
It's way too early, and I felt bad asking Colleen for her prediction now, knowing we still are a week out, and who knows what can happen during the
I
week.
threw it out to her.
Yeah, hey, look.
Going back next week.
Yeah,
she's
right.
gonna
It
have
was a
too
good shot.
much,
It was
dude.
good. Hey,
Thursday's like
you miss
media night
100%
for
of the
them.
shots you don't take.
But she gets to go to the Super Bowl, right? Like the NFL.
Yeah, I asked that.
yeah,
She
yeah.
didn't answer
I
that.
guess they send everyone out there for that.
I'm
Most
sure.
likely, yeah.
No,
I
she's
mean,
definitely.
She
She's
works
like
for
a
the
top
network.
dog.
I'm sure
I
they're
know
going
what
to
I'm
be there.
saying. They still have people back at the studio doing their shows,
You,
right?
you know who I would like to get on the show?
Won't be one.
Kyle Brandt.
I'll reach out.
I wonder how
we
he's
have
done it.
two plugs at NFL
I'm
Maybe-
Network now.
maybe-
so-
maybe Colleen can put in a
Is
word.
he picking the birds? I think he is.
He loves the birds, yeah.
He
He
always-
loves the bird.
Yeah.
he's- what did you call
He's
him?
a Bills
Adopted
fan,
son
though,
of
I
Philly
think.
or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
He's a Buffalo
He's from
fan, but
he's
do you
from
remember his
he's from
legend Buffalo?
he's from Chicago.
He's from Chicago, but he did adopt the Bills.
He went to Princeton and played football at Princeton. Then he got hurt, right?
Yeah, he loves the birds.
Do you remember his legendary speech when
Yeah,
they
Two of
won?
them. He had two of them.
Dog,
No, but
underdogs.
the best one was when he started
underdog
throwing all the
speech.
papers. Yeah.
Yeah, the underdog.
So I'm
speech.
curious what he comes with this time.
I'll reach out.
Can't hurt.
Can't hurt. I'm
What
going to reach out
What's
to him.
Jason Fogg say?
I'm going to reach out to a bunch of Kansas City fans and,
No,
and like
I don't
celebrities.
We don't need them.
Dude,
on.
if we could get Paul Rudd on
You
here, I'm
wanna
getting
get-
Paul Rudd
yeah,
on here.
man.
Yeah, why do you get Mahomes' brother on here?
I'll reach out to Jackson. Brody can TikTok dance for us in the background.
Early jersey. Did you see that when his brother plays? He has a jersey that says
Yeah,
Bro on
he's
the
so
back.
annoying.
Look
Him and his wife.
You
No,
wanna-
his
did you
wife,
guys-
it was messed up too with that Cancun on 3. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
She's just
So-
annoying.
Yeah.
So Birdman215 on TikTok. You guys know who he is, right? The
Yeah,
guy that
yeah,
comes
yeah.
out to like the WWE stuff.
Ah,
like
yeah, I've
Goldberg.
seen him. Yeah, I've seen him.
He made a bet with a 49ers guy. They bet belts.
Oh,
And they
did
got
see
that, yeah.
I did see
They
that.
got it back. I'd like to have that guy on, even though he looks,
I
he's
did
pretty
see
cool
that,
too.
yeah.
He's
Buddy, you
he's
follow the
out on
Birdman?
West Coast. Birdman.
Keeping you up over there?
He's falling
He follows-
asleep.
he follows the bird.
This kid, I love
It's a
his
school
content.
night for him, you know. We got to give credit to Brody. How did the vocab test go? Good. He was studying last week.
Yeah, he was.
I'm
He would
sure.
have been
Yeah.
impressed.
You would
He
have been a
was
proud father.
studying
He was studying.
before we were on.
He was studying
air.
for that vocab test last week.
How'd you
He
do?
knows if there's-
100?
He said it was good.
97.
97. See?
There you
What's
go,
up, man?
Brody.
Those great slips. He's
So he's
Are
like
we
the
gonna win
Eagles.
by 97, just like that vocab test?
See, he's like the Eagles, studying film, you know,
Yeah.
even on shows. You know, we know the Eagles tune in here from time to time, so I'm sure they're watching film this week. That's why
absolutely.
I didn't see them on the screen today, but
We should try to get a player from 52 that retired on here next week. There's some
You
guys
got
out there, Bo Allen. Yeah, listen,
Bo
there's-
Allen.
Yeah,
Dude, you want to talk about guys that didn't do anything in the group project but still got an A? That's Bo Allen.
dude, he had a good year to Super Bowl because he got paid. Yes, he did. If
When
you
he-
remember,
He got paid by Tampa Bay the
I
next
like
year.
5 or 6 sacks that year.
Dude, I could stand there and, get blocked to it.
Give me some names. I'll reach out. We got no problem.
Bo Allen.
So,
Bo Allen might be out the window with that. list,
Selleck would
but
be a good one.
Selleck would be a great one. He's been in the
he's
area
not,
a
yeah,
lot.
I don't
Yeah.
know if we can get
He's
him.
been busy.
You can
Actually, I
get,
wonder how many of those guys are actually heading
you
out
could
that way.
probably get like a backup that was on the team.
Narragos? Are you going to talk about his lawsuit?
Oh,
God.
God.
Dude,
Dude,
that
really?
just hit me. Do the Eagles have like a Mickey Morandini, like the Phillies have, like who just
They're
always
just like,
doing
yeah,
stuff
a
for the
player
team?
representative.
Yeah.
It's usually the older guys. It's like
gotta be
a William
somebody-
Thomas or
well, Connor Barwin's with the team, but I was gonna say Connor Barwin does a lot of stuff.
We get Sproles.
He's not Harry though.
We straightened out anyway. Nobody's got to be in the area anymore.
We could get somebody like that, like from the Super Bowl team, like Brian Brayman or something. You know what I mean?
We've only got a week.
Seriously,
Brayman.
Anybody.
We've only got a week.
Well, we need to look at the roster and start shooting our shots.
It was the backup safety.
Watkins.
Jalen Watkins.
Jalen Watkins. Yeah, that's a good one. Could Patrick Robinson? He's not in the league anymore.
That sucks what happened to him. I feel bad. He tore his knee up.
Yeah.
Never came back.
You know who somebody might be able to get? Corey Clement.
He's on the. Wait, that's actually crazy.
Does he lift in the gym in the area or something?
Where I work, his gym is literally right next to where I work.
There you go.
Crazy.
Shoot your shot.
I always see his car there too. It's kind of funny.
Take a walk across the driveway there.
Knock on the garage door. Hey,
Yeah.
Corey, you got any?
Well, wait till it's warmer weather
We
out
should
and
just look at the
the
roster.
garage
I'm
is
sure
open.
there's guys on there that don't play anymore. How about like with Newski or somebody? He started. He might play.
He was Newski. Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
We don't rate the Foles.
Trey Burden.
Trey Burden.
All right.
I haven't lined the books. So I might be able to do that.
Brandon Brooks.
Yeah.
He didn't play.
One of my good friends
Shut up.
is they're best friends. They're like best friends. So.
There you go.
I
Brandon
can
Brooks
try.
would be cool. These boys with
How
Lane.
about some other
Get some
podcasters?
Lane.
Do you want to bring in a KC podcast?
No.
I got the
He
connection with the
doesn't.
guy
Yeah,
last
I
night.
think you should.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I
Smitty
would like
doesn't
to
like
do
any
that.
of the other
He doesn't.
podcasts.
Smitty's very defensive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
very,
very
very
territorial.
protective. Yeah,
Very
very
fun.
territorial.
Yeah.
Tell
That could be
Nate-
fun.
Tell Nate what told you last night. That Kansas City has a better defense than the Eagles.
Yeah, so we
We
got.
would
I
rip
did
them
it.
apart.
I did a cut last night with
This is why we can't have nice guests
TSS
here.
Fantasy Sports.
Colleen,
Shout out to
I was
those
going
guys.
with SBA.
We were on with them earlier in the year, Smitty and Deke, and they reached out. So we got we're doing some hits with them. So I was arguing with a KC fan. And this guy had some great stories. Apparently, he's got a lot of connections. He could be completely full of shit. I don't know.
Is he boys with Chiefs of
But
Holland?
Is his name
he's-
Alfredo?
his name is JP. He's a good dude. Lots of stories. It was fun. So we'll share that out when it's coming around. But that's just like if he would come on if we wanted to bring him on.
No, I don't want him on. No,
Let's
thanks.
try to get Chiefs of Holland on.
Why do you want
I don't know who
these
Chiefs
guys
of Hawk
on?
is.
You
but-
didn't see that story?
Why do you
Why
want
not?
The
But
guy
I'm
who dresses
not
up in
gonna
like
be
a
able
wolf
to- Why do you
costume.
say
I don't
yeah,
care
yeah,
when
yeah,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
them
Rob
all.
all the
How about
banks
that?
down the
No.
away games.
I did see
He's
Chiefs.
out on bail, I think.
Wait,
right
can
now.
we get the guys on? Who were the guys that were talking all the trash? Teal and let's bring on the dudes from the Vikings podcast again. Remember they said
Oh, dude, the Jaguars guys we're cool. Like
Oh,
we
yeah,
we
yeah, I've
message
been
back and
seeing
forth
that,
all the
yeah.
time. So they're loving it. They're rooting for the Eagles.
Yeah, I've been seeing
no,
that.
bring in the Vikings guy.
Bring the
Remember?
Vikings
They
guy
said
back.
they didn't
Lucy
see us in the
Juicy.
playoffs.
It was some
Bring in the guy that looked like
Juicy
Duck
Lucy.
Dynasty.
Is that what it is?
Who was the guy that looked like Duck Dynasty? Oh, was
Juicy
that the
Lucy's.
Lions
That was
podcast?
Lucy
that was the
Juicy
Vikings
or
guy.
Juicy Lucy. I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that was the
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 Vikings guy.
Lions guy
The
was actually
Minnesota
really
Lions
good.
guy was good.
He was good. They had a fun season too.
Come on, Brody.
Dude, he's had a long day of studying. He doesn't want to deal with our
He's
crap
out
right
cold.
All right.
now. So the rest of our viewers.
Yeah. We started talking about next week's show on the air. Probably not a good look. So all right, thank you
I
for
don't care if
everybody
nobody's
that
listening.
checked in tonight. I know we started to get a little drag at the end here, but let's go! Super Bowl! Did that help? Wake anybody up? That wake anybody up?
How did you think Jalen did singing "Fly Eagles Fly"?
That
That
was brutal.
We
Yeah,
love
that was a
brutal.
tough watch.
Don't go there.
Tough watch.
It was look, one of the best things that, like, I've said it before, I've said it many times. People are like, why do you still go down there? Blah, blah, blah. Dude, going to these games are the whole reason why you get the tickets. Being in that stadium with that,
All right,
it's
rub
just-
it in a little bit
you
more
just-
for us.
but football, this sport just brings complete strangers together.
Yeah.
All like we tailgated for the last 2 weeks with guys. We have no idea who any of these guys were.
Never
It's
met
in
him
the
before.
tailgate.
So
the tailgate.
Never met
Yeah,
him. No,
yeah.
we weren't tailgate crashers. We knew people
We
there.
were- we
Well,
were
he
invited.
knew people
Oh,
there.
Wilson, Vince Vaughn.
No, he actually knew a couple people there.
I don't think
We
it's any
got it.
better
We
than
had it
having-
next.
watching
No,
the
it's
memory
great
of your son.
having the
I
kids
think
there.
That's an awesome memory for
It's-
both of you.
It's just a great time.
Yeah.
Being down there, being at the stadium, like just hugging and high fiving complete strangers. It's awesome.
Were you guys tailors from Vermont?
No.
No.
I was what was the neurosurgeon?
I I don't know. I just remember he's like, "Girl, Peter Pan, it's the fourth quarter of the game, and you want to throw a Hail Mary now?"
I got a stage 4 clear.
Oh, and Embiid didn't make it as a reserve.
No, he did. Harden didn't.
That's
Yeah, Harden
crazy.
did.
That's crazy.
Embiid made the All-Star game. Harden did.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why didn't Harden?
I wonder.
Jim had something to
I
say. on
wonder.
this. Jim had the
Jim
last.
rigged it.
All right,
Jim had the
all right,
last
we're going
word.
out. We're going out. Last question.
Are you kidding me?
Do
Some of
you
these
think?
guys?
Do you think Tom Brady stays retired? Yes or no? Simple yes or no.
Yes.
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 Yes, 100%.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. No.
Yes.
Yes.
No. All right. Good answers. Good
How,
answers.
how many no's were there?
One.
2.
Who?
You said no?
You,
I
I
said
said
no.
no. Nate.
you and Bob.
Nate, does Brady stay retired?
Yes.
No, you guys are all wrong. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you were on here. Colleen was on. Thank you again to Colleen Wolfe from NFL Network. It was awesome having her on.
Did we do our sponsors?
We
Yeah.
did. We started our sponsors. I don't know if we got the J. Pops McCain's Fine Whiskeys. He had some great tailgates down there, too. If you're looking for a party for the Super Bowl, he'll bring the whiskey wagon right to your house. Serve it up. He's got servers. He's got more than just whiskey. Check him out on Facebook, Pops McCain's Whiskey. I will reach out to Mama Mia's and see what type of Super Bowl specials they may be doing. And I know a lot of the local places are. But we will be in here next week. Deep dive into why the Eagles are going to kick the Chiefs' ass. If you're scared, feel free to stay home. And we will be here next week.
That's Smitty.
Until then.
Okay, let's go there. Let's go there. I'm being scared.
Be excellent to each other. We will see you next
1,
week.
2, 3,
Santa
4.
Boot Bus, go
Play
Birds!
the songs, Nate.
Yeah.
Play the song, Nate.
Especially the producer behind the scenes. I know faith is Let's talk. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.